see parallel number 1 was Word. Parallel number 2, Jesus is the gardener. So John 20, verses 14 through 16. I want you to pay close attention to this. Mary turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize that it was Jesus. He asked her, "Why are you crying? Who is it you are looking for?" By the way, side note, when Jesus asks a question, it's not because he doesn't know the answer. Thinking he was a gardener, she said, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will get him." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned toward him and cried out in Aramaic, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Mary thinks that Jesus is a gardener as she passes him on the way to his tomb. So we see life. The parallel, Genesis 3, verses 8 through 10. Then the man and his wife, Adam and Eve, after they had fallen into the trap of separating themselves from God, heard the sound of the Lord God as he was walking in the garden in the cool of the day. Notice this. They hid from the Lord God among the trees of the garden. But the Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" So Adam answered, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." So the two parallels. Mary sees Jesus as a gardener. He calls her by name. She falls on her face in worship. But to understand that parallel in Genesis, after God had given Adam and Eve everything, they had seen the gardener walk by, so they went and hid in shame. So the parallel here is naturally we want to separate ourselves from God when we willingly do something we know is wrong, as in the garden. Adam and Eve hid from the gardener, which is God, as he walks by them in Eden because of their guilt, whereas Mary turns around because of life. And notice that God called Adam by name and says, "Where are you?" when they had separated themselves from him because of guilt. And here Jesus calls Mary by name because he offers her life. Man. But the goodness of God goes beyond our human logic as Jesus appears in the form of a gardener and calls us by name. He doesn't say, "Hey, you in the corner, come over here." No, he calls you by name. Will you return to him? Will you exchange your guilt for the abundant life?